What's up, world? Let me tell you about this beard growth oil I got from 12 tribes on Earth. 8 ounces of oily goodness with a nozzle that prevents sprays and spills, and soft ingredients that make it perfect addition to anyone's morning routine. From coconut to castor, all these oils are hand chosen. After using this herbal blend, the biggest thing I noticed is how soft and how strong my hair was, and how good I feel. Pick up your bottle today and make your beard the star of the show.
Shalom, family. Good to see you all. Hope you're doing well. Well, you know, we know we've been looking at a lot of judgment here in America, especially this year. And it just seems to get worse in many different locations. Now, I told y'all I was born in the city of Philadelphia, and then my family moved to New Jersey. But one thing I have heard that I don't think I've heard anywhere else in the country, it flooded 3 times in 1 week in Philadelphia. And some of the places that were flooded again and again, same locations. Now, some might say it's a coincidence. No, this is definitely judgment. I mean, what are the chances of a flood hitting the same place 3 times in 1 week? That says a lot. There's a lot of places under judgment. Even here in my state, it's a lot of judgment going on. And I think people are looking at this as a weather phenomena or, oh, it's just one of those things just happening. No, nothing like this just happens unless the Most High has decided that this is one of these places that's heavily under judgment. And oh, yeah, floods, earthquakes, fire, wildfires, tornadoes. It's been crazy. It's been absolutely crazy. And not to mention the different volcanoes that are now active in the world. So it's definitely a lot going on. So when I saw this story and I heard the city flooded 3 times in 1 week, I was like, wow, there is something about that place that the Most High absolutely don't like. And it's being targeted for a reason. So, y'all, oh, yeah, he always used the weather because you can't attack the weather. You can't arrest it. You can't fight it. You can't shoot at it. And I love that. Just like the bee swarms, you can't really do nothing about it. Nothing you got is going to work against the swarm. You won't get all of them. So it's brilliant. It's brilliant how much he's using the weather. Now, we enter another heat wave starting tomorrow. And I think we have one 100-degree day, and that's Wednesday. But for the next 4 days in a row, starting tomorrow, we're going to be in the 90s one day and the 100 degrees. But the biggest one is the heat dome in the West Coast. It's going to be far more hotter. So, man, y'all, just to see all of this unfold, I'm so glad the Most High allowed us to be alive to witness the fall of this Gentile world. It is definitely going down. All right, let me share my screen. All right, this is the Rapture. Why do I still have that up? Hold on one second, y'all. I don't need the Rapture. Okay, now one of the locations is near where I used to live. And when we went to church, we went to the Bueller Baptist Church, and that was on Spruce Street. And Spruce Street was one of the locations that got flooded. Okay. In fact, there's quite a few. Back in the day when I was growing up, there were several churches up and down Spruce Street. We were one, and there were others that were there. In fact, that whole radius of blocks, even blocks over from where our church was, there were other churches, a lot of churches in that concentrated in that area. So I was I was not surprised that, because a lot of Christian churches and many of these churches have been really getting attacked, especially with the weather. I saw a couple of them that got struck by lightning. So it's definitely judgment. He's getting rid of these places because they should not be here, you know? And many of the locations that we see today, y'all, are not going to be there when we get in the kingdom. A lot of these neighborhoods are going to be completely wiped out. And chances are they may not ever be inhabited again. So I think the landscape is going to look totally different from what we are looking at today. I really think he's going to change everything. So the roads and many of these locations, they will be gone. There won't be no need for it. And it won't be no need for all of these houses being built by the hundreds of thousands. It's no need for that when we get in the kingdom. So a lot of these big projects that they got going on, including the data centers, all of that's going to come to a halt, and these folks are going to wonder what's happening. And I think who is going to spook the most are the ultra rich, the people like Donald Trump. They're going to be shocked. And I think they're going to be the most devastated because they've been in control all this time. And that control, remember, this place is going to be gone in an hour. So these folks that are sitting at the top, once that time comes, they're not going to ever have any more power on this earth at all. So really, this is really their last time sitting at the top, because once everything switches, there will be no more Gentiles at the top. You'll be seeing our people at the top, but you will never see another Gentile there, not unless you get a glimpse at somebody's handmaiden and servant. You might see them then, but other than that, you're not going to see them at the top at all. So it's a lot to look forward to. I know I look forward to it. I do. Mud floods. I've seen a lot of landslides too, but they're mostly overseas and in places like China. I've seen several of them in China, and I've seen also, storms that wiped out villages and stuff. Yeah, it's been a very turbulent 2026. But we all knew this was going to ramp up one day. We're almost there, y'all. We all knew this was going to ramp up one day, and it is. It is. Like I said, I thank the Most High for giving me the opportunity to live through it. It's a lot babbling online about Mitch McConnell because there's a picture that got uploaded trying to prove that he is still living, and even MAGA is not buying it. They said they don't believe the picture is real. It's of him and his wife, and him and Mitch in a hospital bed. Even MAGA is saying they don't buy it. They don't believe the validity of the picture. So it's been a long time. That's why I don't think if Mitch is still alive, I'm shocked. He can't be in very good shape if he is. All right, almost there. Okay. Now, when you look at some of these videos, most of the videos will have sound. I think there's maybe like two that don't have any sound at all, but you can definitely see all the flooding that is there, like on Front Street and Spruce Street and other streets around the city. All right. Okay, here we go. Okay. All right. Let me share my screen. Please give me a one if you can see my screen. Now, this first clip, there is no sound. All right. There is no sound. So somebody pop in and say, I don't hear nothing. You can let them know this clip. And there's another clip in here that don't have any sound, but you'll see the flooding. Thank you.
Third time this week, Philadelphia and surrounding communities endured heavy rain, strong winds, and flash flooding this afternoon. More than 35,000 PECO customers remain without power tonight. A building in the Overbrook section of the city reportedly collapsed under powerful winds this afternoon. Look at that. You can see the aftermath on the intersection of 58th and Lansdowne streets. No injuries there have been reported. And the heavy rain also created hazardous conditions for drivers as well. This video shows flooding on I-76 East in South Philadelphia. The weather also impacted the Celebrate Mantua Festival this afternoon. The action cam was there, capturing these images of heavy rain, along with damaged tents and banners as well. Action News reporter Elizabeth Worthington joins us live from the Winfield section of the city with a look at damage there. Elizabeth.
Yeah. Hey, Walter. So earlier, this looked like a disaster zone. You can see a couple of trees down that knocked down some power lines as well. But really, what was really crazy was right over here, 57th Street and Lebanon Avenue. There's only a few cars left now, but the tow trucks took several of them away. There were more than a dozen parked cars that were pushed down the block by that rushing floodwater. Fortunately, there does not appear to be any injuries from this location, but a lot of our neighbors we talked to are already worried about how they're going to recover from this financially.
I don't have no car. I don't know how I'm going to get to work for my kids.
Neighbors say the area of 58th and Lebanon streets looked like a scene out of a disaster movie.
Like almost the end of the world. I thought. Yeah, yeah, it was devastating.
More than a dozen cars were pushed by the rushing water.
I looked outside, my car drifted from there all the way to that side of the pole.
And then next thing you know, I saw all of our cars overhead just come down a block.
This video taken by a resident shows what the scene looked like only 45 minutes earlier, right after the storm rolled through.
Basically, we stopped for the rain. Before we knew it, in a matter of seconds, the car was flooded and underwater.
The water flooded Kiana Futrell's first floor.
It was up to my thighs. I lost everything. My insurance don't cover it. I don't know how I'm going to recover.
We received reports of widespread damage across the Winfield area. The action cam captured this vehicle submerged in a flooded roadway at 54th Street and City Avenue. Crews were able to successfully push the car out. A massive tree came down on Upland Way near Drexel Road, taking power lines down with it. Another tree split at the trunk and came down on a house on the corner of 58th and Malvern Avenue. Neighbors say the storm left just as quickly as it arrived.
I did see the beginning of that. It looked like it was a tornado. Like I said, you could not see outside.
Yeah, and that water receded really quickly. You saw that video of what it looked like 45 minutes before we got here. And now we're left with this, a lot of muddy streets and a lot of debris and a whole lot of damage. And like we said, there's a lot of places that we weren't able to get to. We've received widespread reports across this area, so we're going to try to hit as many as we possibly can tonight. We're now live in Winfield tonight. Elizabeth Worthington, Channel 6 Action News. Walter.
That video just jaw-dropping. My goodness. Right. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Bruh, look at this shit. It's a fucking river. Look how high it is over the cars. Look. It's about to cover this car up. I don't know who car these are. They're gonna be mad when they come out. Oh shit, it moved. It made the car move. Look, the water is making the car float. Look at this shit, bro. It was just sitting still for a minute. It was sitting still for a minute. Now it just started floating, bro. The bitch is floating, bro. Look at this. This fucking truck is damn near covered all the way because it was. You can't even see the wheels no more of the car, of the truck.
Whose piece of the house is it?
This shit is on my bottom step. It's on my bottom step. I can't walk out there. This is a river. Where my cones go?
Away.
Right? Where the fuck is my cones at?
That might be yours on the street right here, actually. It's free right here.
Oh, you're right. No, that might be theirs. This is hers. Where the fuck is my cones at? Bro, look at this shit, bro. That's a river. That's a river. This is a lake, a river. There's a fucking tire floating in the water. This shit is crazy, bro.
Third time this week, Philadelphia and surrounding communities endured heavy rain, strong winds, and flash flooding this afternoon. More than 35,000 PECO customers remain without power tonight. A building in the Overbrook section of the city reportedly collapsed under powerful winds this afternoon. Look at that. You can see the aftermath on the intersection of 50.
The thunder, the lightning, and the rain, oh my God, it was just crazy. But the craziest thing is I was in full panic mode because I could not find my phone. So imagine you're fighting for your life to get all your stuff in the car because I did not want my vending stuff to be ruined in my inventory, and then trying to figure out where the hell your phone is. So I accept my fate that somebody stole my phone. Like, I didn't even fight it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna sit in the car until the rain dies down. The rain did not die down. So I still had to get to my parents' house because I am soaked. When I tell you every inch of my body was soaked, like I could wring out my hair and probably fill out like a little small cup of water. So I got to my parents' house and I'm kind of frantic. I'm like, Dad, let me see your phone so I could try to find my iPhone. So the address came up and I was like, you know, I'm about to go pull up. So I go back into the house to go look at my dad's phone. I cannot get into my Apple ID now. It's locked. This time I'm still soaked, still soaking wet. Everything from my dress to my hair to my underwear is soaked. So I take that ride to shame. But as I'm riding through the neighborhood, I'm like, oh, snaps. Like, I'm worried about a phone. People's houses are destroyed. Their cars are destroyed. So at this point, I was just like, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I'll figure it out. If I have to get a new phone, so be it. So I got home, and when I walked through the door, my man was like, your mom called. They found your phone. It was the last customer I had. She took my phone by accident. And y'all know what I'm mad about the most is that I had a 24-day 10K walking streak, and that was done because I couldn't get any walks in. I couldn't get any steps in because I didn't have my phone.
Oh! Oh.
Look at this. Crazy. Oh my God, I'm nervous. I serve notice to the enemy. Oh, you can't have my family. Oh, no, no. You can't.
All right, y'all. You see what it looks like, right? Now, look at this flood times three because they got flooded three times in 1 week. Same area. The water would recede. They have another round of rain and it would reflood. And that happened 3 times. So, yeah, I can imagine the insurance company is going to be bombarded. Homeowners and auto insurance are going to be bombarded in business insurance. Man, it is crazy. It is crazy out here. Now, around me, there were certain blocks that flooded, and that was like a week ago here. But the rain, y'all, when it was raining here, when I tell you that rain was coming down in buckets, I am not exaggerating. It was like buckets were falling out of the sky. That's how much rain was coming down. And I think they had estimated that we were getting anywhere from 1 to 3 inches per hour, depending on what area you were in. That is insane amounts of rain. That rain is what you get for the entire summer, not just in one storm. But that's what we're getting now. Mm-hmm. Yes, 3 floods in 1 week is what the city of Philadelphia got hit with. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that might be the goal. Maybe he is trying to destroy that place. You know, you heard that one woman, she said all her stuff was lost. And I'm sure that's the case with many because those houses, they're row homes. So it's not like one gets flooded and the other ones are okay. They all got flooded. All of them. Mm-hmm. It is crazy. Yes. Yes. I have to agree. When somebody said the angels are here, they are definitely here. They are definitely here, just looking at everything around us. Hmm. I don't know, not yet, because I mean, this is pretty recent. So it could be, you never know, because there's a lot of elderly people that live up in those row homes and people with children. I mean, in 1 week, it probably would take them longer than a week to do an assessment of the area. Hmm. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. I am putting another live together. I'm just not ready to show it yet, but there's even more Asian businesses that are closing. And I'm going to show you some of the more updated videos on that. It's a lot of them closing because they don't have the customers anymore to stay in business. So we will talk about that a little later. So be on the lookout for my next live, and everybody stay safe, stay prayed up, and don't forget to get your hair products. Shalom, family.